Let's get this party started.
Coverage tight, spotlight on tomorrow. Who you with? Trust, you'll be delighted that you followed. At Phirst Contention, the invention. We debate sports, of course we should mention. What's that? We cover games, we don't play suspensions. We 100, so if your star's missing, we let you know your squad surely gone fishing. We never fish though, no, not our motto. We sport on deals, on court, on fields. The victors, the vengeance, the legends, latest invention. Phirst Contention.
I said, hola, senors and senoritas. Welcome to another episode of Phirst Contention. I'm your boy, Marvin Banks, here with T.Y. Sosina.
Salutations, folks. Back at it again. Got quite a bit to get into, Marv. But before we do that, let's kick it over to Steve over in Shed's Block. What up, bro? What's going on, brothers? Check it out. We're in the new Shed's Block. This is a new era. We're doing some different things. We may have some new guests in the future, but I'm not going to spoil the surprise. Back to you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, last time we spoke, we were at the onset of the March Madness tournament in basketball. Now, Marvin, hindsight's 2020. Statements were made.
Exactly.
Opinions were shared.
There were.
So let's go back and kind of see what the guys thought heading into the tourney here. March Madness is upon us.
I mean, obviously, Kentucky is the #1 favorite right now.
Exactly.
Everybody's going to pick them to win. I'm picking them to win. It's pretty much a landslide in my opinion, but we'll see what happens.
I didn't feel like wasting no time, so I'm going to show you my right now. Kentucky, we're just going to leave it at that. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
Oh, wow.
Calipari's going to do
This
it.
guy.
Hey,
Oh,
they
my
lost
goodness.
10 games last year. We're runner-up with a bunch of freshmen. Who's to say that this year, as sophomores, they can't actually do it?
BYU with Fisher, with Collinsworth right there. I think BYU, one of the highest scoring teams, has a nice run, a very nice run, to make it all the way to the Sweet 16 in our West bracket here.
Jahlil Okafor is going to have to take them to the promised land, and I don't believe that's going to happen. I just don't have any faith in Wisconsin in going back to the Final Four. So I'm going to say it right now. Wisconsin, you're going to be out by somebody. It's going to be early enough for me to brag about it to all my friends and family, and you're not going to make the Final Four.
Gonzaga, so they may lose to Davidson. I think they may lose to Davidson.
You got some more of that?
I mean, you did pick Kentucky, didn't you?
Yeah. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
my goodness. The #2 team, I think Kansas is going to be on upset alert. I have them losing in the first weekend to Wichita State. The 7 being the 2 seed.
Shocker.
Georgetown, I think, is going to be on upset alert early in the tournament to Eastern Washington. One of my notes is, don't pick a 16 to beat a 1. It has never happened. And for those that are picking Hampton to beat Kentucky, or Wisconsin losing to Coastal Carolina, Villanova losing to Lafayette, or Duke losing to North Florida or Robert Morris, just get over it. Just don't even do that. Don't do that. Not never should you ever do that. And that was a double negative. Not never
Not
should you
never.
ever do that.
Not never?
Not never. Steve?
Okay, I'm going to give you another not never. Not ever should you pick against Kentucky this year. Boom.
Oh, wow.
Hey, cheers, because I'm drinking that Kool-Aid.
Oh.
This is especially this year. Don't pick against Kentucky.
What are your Final Four teams, Shed? Who do you have in your Final Four?
So Duke is not in there. Georgetown not in there. I got Iowa State. Iowa State.
Interesting. Cyclones.
So keep an eye out for that.
We're going to show the Big Ten some love here. Here's another thing you shouldn't do. Don't sleep on a good coach.
Don't sleep on them.
Izzo and the Spartans, I have them beating Virginia. And I have them in the Final Four.
I have Wisconsin coming out the West.
Obviously.
I have Wisconsin coming out the West. And for the overall title, I'm going to give it to Wisconsin. And the reason being is because they had Kentucky
I
on
think
the
I need
ropes.
to walk off.
I think Wisconsin gets it done, and I think Wisconsin cuts down the nets. They match up very well against Kentucky.
50 on Kentucky.
50 on
50 on Kentucky.
deal.
Ooh! When Wisconsin doesn't make it, it's going to be fun.
If Kentucky loses in the first round, you're gonna be very salty. You're gonna be throwing up on that Kool-Aid.
Oh my God.
Still tastes delicious.
See, what had happened was that I have faith in Iowa. And who hates Iowa? Steve?
Yes, I do. I hate Iowa.
Exactly. Steve hates Iowa. So why in the world did I have Iowa State and Northern Iowa in my Final Four? I gave too much faith in the state of Iowa. Why in the world would I give it to the state? You know what? Why didn't you guys just smack me right there and then on the show? Why did you guys have to give me all that faith?
I mean, we're all guilty. We all had, Iowa State coming out and into the Final Four.
Exactly.
Whoops. But that you and I picked, that was.
Well, I had to pick somebody from that bracket. We all knew Villanova and whoever was the second seed wasn't going to make it out of there. So I had to choose somebody.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's talk about another pick you had. You had BYU going deep into things. Now, I think you picked the wrong school in the state of the Mormons. You should have been rocking with Utah.
Yeah, see, what had happened was that when we was filming the show, BYU was up by 17 in the second half, so I figured that they was going to go on to the next round. Didn't figure that they was going to choke down the stretch, so I made a bad error in judgment. It's kind of like having those beer goggles at 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes you just don't know what you have.
Yeah, definition of prisoner of the moment. There.
Exactly so. But, I mean, there was definitely some what had happened moments with you, Ty.
I mean, we touched on Iowa State.
Exactly.
Now it hurts my soul. I know Steve, it probably hurt your soul as well. Arizona, come on! I was rocking with you, Arizona. How could you let Wisconsin get back into the Final Four? How could you?
On Wisconsin.
Man, whatever. Boy. That's a whole nother story. But after watching Wisconsin, I gotta give them their props. This is a squad that you don't expect to go far.
And why is that, Ty? They went to the Final Four last year, and they got everybody returning.
To be real, every time I watch Wisconsin, I don't mean to go there, but let's keep it real. We're gonna keep it real.
God.
Can we keep it real, Steve?
Oh,
keep it real, bro.
When I watch the Badgers play basketball, it's like 4 white guys and that 1 black guy. And is it so bad that I don't?
You're so
because of that, I have no faith in that. But you know what? Hey, it's good. I just need to change my ways.
You're so disrespectful.
We'll talk about other places that need to change their ways. Moving on. Let's talk about what we nailed. I'm gonna give you some ice. You nailed, Kansas getting upset by Wichita, the Shockers. You called that one.
Exactly. Wichita State has been avoiding Kansas for a long period of time now, and now that they had a chance in the big boy tournament, Wichita State, as the little brother grows into his man size, beat up on the older brother, beat them down pretty badly. Fred Van Vliet and company, Roy Baker and company, let them bad boys have it. I guarantee Kansas won't be scheduling them on the schedule anytime soon.
Matter of fact, if I was Wichita State, I wouldn't want to play them.
You know what? Might as well. Might as well. But I know someone had a what had happened moment over there in Shed's block, saying something about the effects of Duke losing early or something along those lines. Steven?
Yeah, I mean, you got me there. I mean, my bracket is not looking very well, but I still got one team that I said was going to win it all, and I still believe they're going to win it all, and that's Kentucky.
Yeah.
So,
oh, God.
I don't care about anything else as long as Kentucky wins. Now, if Wisconsin wins, I'm going to be hurting. I ain't going to lie. I'm going to be hurting for real. I mean, it's hard to root against the Big Ten. I'm rooting for Michigan State, but I don't know. I don't know about Wisconsin. It really kills me to root for them. But that's a good matchup, though, man. The way they've been playing, Sam Decker has been killing it. I got to give them props. They've been playing well. My bracket, I picked Arizona to beat them. And Arizona didn't win. So, what do I know? But hopefully Kentucky pulls this off, man. It makes me look good.
Exactly. What do you know? But, I mean, Kentucky has the best team a college coach can buy. But let's talk to
shade. Oh, the shade. Oh, the shade.
But what about you, Ty? Your team, I mean, you had some good upsets. You had some good picks there. The Michigan State pick, have to throw ice to Michigan State going far.
We had a bunch of great do's and don'ts when fell out your bracket. You said no 16-over-1s. And, I mean, let's see. I've got 2 out of my 4 teams in there. You have 2 out of your 4. Steve's got 1. But I'm the most proud of Michigan State. You know, a 7 seed. You know, they beat Virginia, like I said, and not only they're repping for the Big Ten, but Izzo just showing that dominance when it comes to tournament time. So, feeling myself. I don't even need X pill.
Oh, wow. Really? Really, really so. But Final Four breakdown. Shed, what you got over there in Shed's block for us?
Well, obviously, we got some great matchups. You know, coaching-wise, this is what you want to see. Some top coaches, top players, top production. You know, there's been some good stories in this bracket, as you've always seen in March Madness, but the Final Four is here. You got Wisconsin versus Kentucky, Michigan State versus Duke. These are some big boys. I mean, think about it. There's some NBA prospects, great coaching mind, great schemes. It's going to be a thrilling matchups to watch. In my eyes, this is what I see playing out. Obviously, it's going to be a really good game between Kentucky and Wisconsin, but I still think Kentucky's going to pull off and get a close victory. But they're going to get that victory based upon rallying around defense. I don't know how they'll be able to shut down Kaminsky and Decker, but they're going to have to figure out a way to make a key stop in the game, and that's going to carry them over to the national championship game. Then you got Michigan State and Duke on the other side. Now, I did say Duke was going to lose a little bit earlier, but it just seems like these guys are just rallying. You got the younger guys actually playing a little bit better than Okafor has been playing the last couple games, but they've been doing their thing, especially Winslow. This guy's been killing it. But Michigan State, man, you can't count them out. So I'm picking Michigan State. I'm sorry, Michigan State versus Kentucky in the final, and I got Kentucky winning it all.
Wow. Well, Shed has gave his last 2 picks. Ty, what do you think about those?
He talked about Justice Winslow. You know, Kanye said too many Urkels on your team, that's why you win slow. Because they had too many, but Duke just needs 1. We talk about Jahlil Okafor and how he could be the number 1 overall pick. Man, I don't even care about Okafor. He hasn't even been playing that well in the tournament. Justice is showing out.
He is.
Then obviously, Izzo and the Spartans. Go green. On that side, I love the coaching, but don't forget Coach K is a good coach, and I believe he has the better talent all in all. I think that Duke moves on, and they will, of course, meet Kentucky because, I mean, again, maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm being stubborn, but I don't think Wisconsin can do it.
It's not just you.
Okay, maybe it's just us.
Yeah.
I don't think Wisconsin can do it.
The level of disrespect has been grand, and the level of disrespect will end on Saturday. I'm telling you that Frank the Tank and Wisconsin will get it done. Kentucky was sweating bullets to get past Notre Dame. And
Notre Dame's a good team. They beat Duke. Don't forget
Notre Dame
Duke
is a good team. They have nobody above 6'6" that really plays for their team. You also have to remember that too as well. You know, when you have Kentucky, when you have 7 foot, 6'11", 12'9", 13'5", 14'1" coming off the bench and everything for Kentucky, I mean, all you have is just size, length, and athleticism. And they lost the rebounding battle to Notre Dame. Notre Dame was hanging on to them and out-rebounding Kentucky. Now that you're playing up against an experienced Wisconsin team who's looking for revenge against Kentucky for that 1-point loss last year in the semifinal national game, I think Wisconsin has enough to get over the hump and meet the Duke Blue Devils once again. Now, you said it. Okafor has not really been putting on, but there's someone from Minnesota that has been putting on. Tyus Jones has been putting on.
Don't forget.
Tyus Jones has been putting on for the state of Minnesota, and also Matt Jones has been knocking down deep shots from distance and everything.
Apple Valley stand up.
Yeah, Apple Valley stand up. I definitely think that they have enough to move forward past Michigan State, but it's hard to bet against Izzo, man. That's one person that you don't want to bet against is Izzo. It's like seeing the Ravens in the playoffs. You know it's going to be a hard-fought game. You don't know what's going to happen and everything. And Izzo just always I don't know. He just pulls tricks out his sleeves, just left and right and everything, you know?
The second portion to our convo, 4 coaches in the Final Four here.
Exactly.
I mean, if you were in the Final Four, who would you like to have coaching your team?
You know what? If I was in the Final Four, and if I had a son playing for one of these coaches, it might be a little bit blasphemous, but I'm going to have to go with Izzo.
Oh.
I like Izzo. I like his bravado. I like how he orchestrates his team. I like how his teams get better down the stretch. They might struggle early, but they know how to play ball when it turns into January, February, March, and now in the beginning of April. Now you're starting to see a full Michigan State team, and they always seem to have that one player that can do it all. You know, when you think about Magic, then Draymond Green a couple of years ago, now Denzel Valentine. I mean, someone that can really do a little bit of it all. So I think Izzo. I would go with Izzo.
Coach Cal gets all the accolades. We see he's done, you all saw, 4 times in the Final Four in the last 5 years. Don't forget, 2 of those Final Fours were vacated. 96 with Massachusetts, and who can forget 2008 with Memphis.
Best team of money can buy.
Oh, Derrick Rose. All I do is make a free throw. North of 20 players drafted into the NBA, 15 in the first round. The man gets talent, and not only does he secure the talent, he teaches these McDonald's All-Americans to share the ball and play great ball, except for that team that had that NIT snub. But again,
Message.
I'm taking Izzo as well. At the onset of the tournament, this is why I said Michigan State will come out, because he's a great coach. No shade against Calipari, but Izzo doesn't have the talent that Calipari brings down to Kentucky. And so he can bring the most out of guys. This team is definitely, overachieving, but it's an overachieving squad that's dangerous. I saw a sign over the tournament that said January, February, Izzo, April, relevant, Mr. March.
Exactly. What about Shed? What do you think? Best coach?
Clean slate, fellas. Clean slate. I think Tom Izzo is the best coach as well. Basically because of the same things you said. He doesn't always have the best talent as compared to Duke and Kentucky, but he's the best out of his players, and he's just one of those type of guys that you just want to play for. He has that motivational tactics. He has that connection with his players to really just reach down into them, bring the best out of them, and let them show out in the most important times of the year. And this time he's doing it right now. It could make him down to the national championship. So Tom Izzo is definitely the guy for me.
I feel you. Well, let's move one state over to the state of Indiana, where a recent law has just been passed. The state of Indiana has passed their religious law stating that anyone has the right to not serve a certain person based upon their sexual orientation or gender identification. Now, the Final Four is in Indianapolis this upcoming weekend. Ty, what impacts do you think this has not only on the Final Four, but just in the whole state of Indiana in general?
Well, I've heard this word a number of times over the past few hours. Hoosier hospitality. It's not a lot of hospitality when you're turning folks away. I mean, let's call it what it is. Everyone likes to say it's not straight up discrimination. It's a little different. Everyone's reading too much into it. But when you will tell someone no, when you refuse someone, a right to whatever kind of product or service that you're offering, based solely on, their sexual orientation, that's discrimination. I mean, discrimination doesn't always need to be about color. It's about what you are. And, we have a long way to go. We see the current events. We know what's going on in the world. But especially as it relates to sports, obviously, the Final Four, you talk about Lucas Oil holding Super Bowls in the future, whether teams with openly gay players or fans that support these teams want to even come and watch in the state if they can't go out to grab some food during the week. Let's see the Big Ten tournament, things of that nature. So it's so much deeper, in this day and age. It needs to be about acceptance and moving on because hey, it's a religious law, but it said thou shalt not judge. I mean, who are we? I think they're being kind of judgmental. I
mean, when you think about it, someone told me an important fact. If you put lipstick over a pig, guess what it is?
Miss Piggy.
It's that too, and it's still a pig. And when you think about it, when you put this law in front of discrimination, it's still discrimination no matter how you slice and dice it. Think about, let's say if Michael Sam was still playing at the University of Missouri, or let's say if he was playing with the Indianapolis Colts right now in NFL, do you think that he would be a central figure in protesting this law? Do you think that he would still be served in these restaurants or these different businesses and stuff that's happening now? I know in certain restaurants it's no shoes, no shirt, no service. You know, and I
That's
guess
an appearance. That's a safety.
That's a safety issue, more a safety issue and a safety thing. Now, they're trying to curtail this bill to say that it's more of a safety issue, or trying to protect, religious law and religious rights and things of that nature. But it's hard for me to understand how the state of Indiana can still pass a law like this. And when you think about some of the central figures in Indiana, Reggie Miller has came out and said how disappointed he was in his adopted state to have a law be passed and to have discriminatory factors against that. Charles Barkley has come out and said how he disapproves of this state law. Now with the Final Four being there, what happens if, let's say, one of the Final Four coaches was openly gay? How would his team be treated? How would the university be represented? Would they still be able to go to the Final Four? Do they have to stay in, central hotels or locations and different things of that nature? It's so blatant that it's almost comical. It's almost comical to a sense where it's just, wow, so you're just gonna smack us right in the face with something like this.
Absolutely, agreed. You talked about the scandal episode that I was finally able to watch, talking about current events. I mean, again, it should be about progress. It's 2015. Mm-hmm. It's about to be April in 2015. Now, the portion that I read that kind of stirred something in me. They talked about whether reverends in certain churches would have the the right to turn down like homosexual marriages. Mm-hmm. Now that one ties more so directly in line with perhaps I'm not a priest, I'm not a reverend. I don't know how serious it really is, but I can say with confidence on a scale in terms of hotels, restaurants, it looks just like it looked in the 1950s and 60s.
Exactly. So, Indiana, like I said, has been a hotbed of controversy over decades, stemming all the way back to civil rights movements and even before then in the early 1900s. But let's go into a lighter note, though. Shed, what do you have over there about something about KD, NBA, or something like that?
Yes, as you know, Kevin Durant is out for the season. So this is Russell Westbrook's team. Oklahoma is putting all of their chips in that barrel for this season to see if they can move past the first round, which is going to be hard because if they get that 8th seed and they're facing the Golden State Warriors without Kevin Durant, it kind of takes away that idea that they can actually beat them, at least in my eyes. I mean, but for a long-term situation, you look at it, I'm starting to think like NBA 2K is starting to be like a Madden Curse 2 now. I mean, if you really think about it,
wow.
Derrick Rose was on the cover. He got hurt that year. LeBron was on the cover last year, and he got hurt for the first time I ever saw, but he still made it to the finals. It's LeBron. He's a beast, whatever.
But they choked.
But then you got Kevin Durant this year, and he's just been on and off again hurt, and now he's out for the whole season, trying to get his foot back together. I don't know how much is going to shake up the team as far as the morale of Durant and Westbrook. I feel like these guys are still good friends. They still want to play together. I feel like Durant is going to bounce back from this. But, all the stipulation is really being put on by the media, by everybody around them, and just kind of wanting to come up with some type of situation to break up this team, it seems like. I don't know if Durant is thinking about this in the future as far as like moving up to Washington, D.C., but as a guy now playing with Westbrook, I feel like they have an opportunity to win the championship. So in the long run, he's going to be back. They're going to have another shot next year. And if they get the thing done next year, like I said before, winning helps all. So I believe he'll be able to stay. And, the Thunder will be all right. The Thunder still be the Thunder buddies, and we can wrap it up with that. So go to you fellas.
Thunder buddies, Steve? Kind of like that.
Thunder up.
Yeah, that too. But KD is starting to have a little bit of the Derrick Rose syndrome where he's starting to get a little bit hurt after his MVP season.
Also disrespectful.
I mean, sometimes there lies the truth within there too, Ty. So, but I know one person that might be a little bit happy down at OKC, and that's Russell Westbrook. That means more shots for Russell.
I would love to be a fly in Russell Westbrook's
If you thought his light was green before, just imagine. Oh, no KD? I could take 60 shots a game and still be justified. But all jokes aside, though, Man, you look at someone that's a 7-footer. You know, when you talk about 7-footers with foot injuries, you think of Bill Walton, you think of Yao Ming. Even though they're a different type of athlete, and KD is a different type of athlete, he still is a footer with a foot problem, a foot injury. Think about Patrick Willis that retired in NFL at an early age because of his foot injury. You think about some of the greats.
Didn't Greg Oden have some foot issues?
Greg Oden had foot, leg, knees, lower body extremities. Anything below his hip line, he was pretty much done for.
Unbreakable. What you think they call me, Mr. Glass?
Yeah, that too.
No shade though.
But it's KD, former MVP last year, now hoping to get back. The surgery that he had before, only an 8% chance that he had to have this ankle graft surgery, and he was one of those 5 to 8%. So I don't know how his career is going to be when he moves forward. He's a free agent in 2016, looking to cap out, but don't know what the Thunder's going to do moving forward, Ty.
Again, now, not a doctor, but just to shed some more information on this. The Thunder thought he had just a stress fracture.
Wrong.
They thought he'd be out 6 to 8 weeks.
Wrong.
Came back in 7 weeks, and during that time, the Thunder went 5-12. When he came back, he played 27 games before they realized, whoopsies, it's actually a Jones fracture. Now, what that is an injury on the outside of the right foot. Now, there's not a lot of blood flow there, so it's really hard to heal. And when we talk about the feet, we're talking about your support, what keeps you upright. This is necessary, whether you're playing basketball or, in every other day, actions of your life. So you got to play safe. It's very good that the Thunder decided, shut it down, let's go home. Dirk.
Ty, you surprised me. You actually sound intelligent like a doctor. You need the bifocals right there. Maybe you could have performed better surgery than what the Thunder did to KD. That was shade thrown to the Thunder organization. But I don't know. They were supposed to upset the Warriors in the first round, Ty. Now
that's the other team that's very happy.
The Warriors are jumping up and down. Woo! No KD. That means we can let Russell go for 60, and they still might only put up 75 points as a team. So.
Speaking of what had happened was, I had picked the Thunder to win the NBA championship, so I think I reserve the right to withdraw my selection of them, and we're gonna go with Golden State.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! Steph Curry with the shot, boy.
Oh wow!
Klay Thompson with the wrist, boy. Draymond, Iguodala. I see you shit.
That was definitely shade thrown towards there again. But let's move on to something that we just introduced: our social media blast. So our first social media blast goes to Dex Miles Jr. for predicting Kentucky would go 36-1.
Oh, Dax.
First of all, his name is Dax.
Dax.
I
mean, this guy pretty much cost his team an embarrassment. That's the simplest way to put it. I mean, 78-36, what was the score?
A lot to a little.
Oh, my God.
They beat them by halftime.
Pretty much.
I just want to be known they beat them by halftime.
You know what the worst part about it is? He didn't score any points.
He didn't score nothing.
He had not a rebound, not an assist.
No, wait.
Not a rebound.
He had one rebound.
Not a score.
I don't
not
know
a
how.
foul. For him to be talking all that trash and for him not to show up.
Yeah, that's very, very bad. I'm pretty sure his teammates are in the inside thinking, man, you should have never said nothing.
Yeah. I mean, man, people were letting him have it. Drake had a new album come out. If you're tweeting this, that means it's too late for West Virginia.
Yeah,
which
factual.
It was.
If you weren't on Twitter during this game, that was the place to be. Not Sports Center. Great parody account. Breaking. Police have filed assault, battery, rape, and murder charges against the entire Kentucky roster for what they did to West Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah, they let them have it. It wasn't even funny. It wasn't even close. It was like you said, Ty. It was over by halftime. So, but. Let me tell you about my man Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin has people's lives messed up right about now. See, you got people thinking that they are Blake. Like this one dude who tried to jump over a car.
Blake's got the juice, though.
And
Blake's the man right now.
Yeah, Blake's the man right now.
But this dude ain't the man.
Yeah, this dude's not the man. Like, not only did he not jump over the car, he missed the dunk. Then he had fireworks go off. Then he had people show up afterwards
my
trying to take
God.
pictures, ask if he did jump over the car.
And all
See,
those
this
people
is why
watching.
Kia can never get anything right sometimes, man. This is why, right?
You know,
here.
I wasn't even impressed with the way Blake did that dunk. I mean, they showed a video of some guy doing a dunk over the car the next day. He did it through his leg, behind his back, some crazy stuff. I'm like, well, that's pretty cool, but this guy is trying to do the same thing Blake is doing, and he don't got the hops, so I don't know why he's embarrassing himself.
I think the worst part about it was the fireworks going off.
Yeah, definitely so. Easily, by far, it was
Hands
the
down.
fireworks. It was definitely the fireworks. But I know we didn't get a chance to do it last week, but Ron Hunter and his antics when Georgia State pulled off the upset.
Oh yeah, my buddy fell off the chair.
More than that.
Fell off the chair, tore his Achilles, all of the above.
You feel for Georgia State, but to be honest, it's probably best they didn't keep going because here's a look at what he would have looked like had they probably advanced to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
You know the phrase, leave it all out there?
He
Yeah.
literally
He literally,
left it all out there.
that's
But
right there.
Hey, when you
No.
get an opportunity, you go with it.
yeah, he cracked his cast, by the way, when he fell out his chair.
Didn't care about it either.
Not at all. Even his son had to give him jokes for that too as well, which
in his defense, it was a good shot.
it was.
Oh, it was an
very
amazing
good
shot.
Yeah, it was an amazing
Half
shot.
court, pretty much.
But I mean, he was in his little scooter and everything rolling around. Then he was in his rollaway chair, knocking people over left and right. His woman assistant that was right there was just like,
Oh my
what
God.
the bleep are you doing right
fell
now?
off the chair.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, this is Twitter's greatest hits for our last social media blast.
Should have never gave y'all social media.
Exactly, that too. But wrapping up another show, fellas. Good show in the works. Ty?
Folks, don't forget, like the video, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We also take questions from you guys. So if
Yes.
you do have something for us, tweet it one of our ways using the hashtag WeSports.
Sports, send it on in. Stephen Davis, because I'm here with the fellows today. I'm going to start it off.
Word.
Shed. I got Marvin. Go ahead. You can go with the next part. I'll let you be.
I know you're not accustomed to having a three-man show,
No,
but
I'm not.
you're not going to steal my thunder at the end.
Sorry, sir.
Oh,
For
Russell
Shed,
Westbrook. Look
I know, stealing shots like Russell Westbrook. For Shed over here in the middle,
My team, the Destiny.
for myself, for Mr. Ty Sosina, signing off. We are in deep contract negotiations with somebody right now. If this person signs this contract, they might be on the show. We might be adding a new person on the show, depending on how much he asks for a signing bonus and everything. This might be like a 30-day contract, but we'll see how this works out. Fellas?
Trey's up.
Adios.
Ride with Phirst Contention, that's full throttle in. We sport on deals, on court, on fields. The victors, the vengeance, the legends, latest invention. Phirst Contention. We sport on deals, on court, on fields. The victors, the vengeance, the legends, latest invention. Phirst Contention. Game face grit, like born for playoffs. Say it all in small time like payoffs.